You think life's gonna lay down for you, huh? You think the world's just waiting with open arms, ready to roll out the red carpet, hand you everything you ever wanted? Nah, life don't work that way. Life's a dirty game, man. A rigged game. If you don't know how to play it, you're just another piece. Getting moved around, getting used, getting crushed. People, ha. You think they got your back? Maybe some of them do. Maybe you got a couple who go the distance. But the rest, they're just waiting for their moment. They smile in your face, they shake your hand. They tell you all the pretty little words you want to hear. But when it comes time, when it really matters, when you're down bad and bleeding, that's when you see them for what they are. Rats. Waiting for a piece of your meal, but the second you ain't got nothing left, they're gone. And you've been playing their game, haven't you? Trying to be nice, trying to be good. Hoping maybe, just maybe, if you do everything right, you won't get screwed. That they'll see you, respect you, treat you right. But wake up, man. Open your eyes. This world don't care about right. They don't care about fair. They don't care about you. The only thing this world understands is power. And if you ain't got it, you're just another name on somebody's list, another fool they step over on their way up. Respect? Ha. You think respect is something you ask for? You think it's something you just get because you're a nice guy? Respect don't come from kindness. It don't come from waiting your turn, from being patient, from hoping people will just see your worth. Nah. Respect comes when they know, deep down, that you're not someone they can mess with. That you ain't the guy to be played, to be taken for a ride. Respect comes when they look at you and know, without a doubt, that crossing you is a mistake. You ever wonder why people get away with the things they do? Why some slimeball who ain't got half your brains, half your heart, half your guts, is sitting on top looking down at you like you're nothing? Because he don't care. That's why. He don't care about rules, about playing fair, about who he steps on to get there. And you're still worried about playing nice. You're still hesitating. Let me tell you something about hesitation. It's a disease. It's a slow poison. And every time you doubt yourself, every time you pull back when you should push forward, you're letting it sink deeper into your bones. Until one day you wake up and you realize you ain't got nothing left. That all those chances, all those moments where you could have done something, could have taken what was yours, could have made them remember your name, you let them slip through your fingers. Nah, not you. Not anymore. You ain't gonna be that guy sitting around waiting for the world to decide your fate. You're gonna take what's yours. You're gonna stand up, look them in the eye, and let them know things are different now. You ain't the guy they used to know. You ain't the one they can laugh at, push around, play with like you're some joke. They think they own you, right? They think they got you figured out. That you're gonna keep dancing to their tune, keep jumping through their hoops, keep being exactly who they expect you to be. But what happens when you change the game? What happens when you stop playing by their rules and make your own? I'll tell you what happens. They panic. They don't know what to do. Because people like them, they live off control. They live off knowing exactly what to expect. And when you flip the script, when you step out of that little box they tried to put you in, they lose their minds. See, most people, they don't know what to do with real power. They think it's about money, about titles, about looking the part. But real power is knowing you don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need to explain yourself, justify yourself, beg for a seat at their table. Real power is walking in, sitting down, letting them realize without you, they're the ones who ain't got nothing. That's what they don't want you to figure out, that you don't need them, that you never did. They tell you, be patient, wait your turn. Play nice, good things will come. Ha! You know what happens when you wait? When you keep telling yourself that maybe tomorrow, maybe next time, maybe if I just try a little harder, they'll finally see me. No, that's why. Because they ain't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. And every second you waste trying to fit into their world is the second you could have spent building your own. And don't get me wrong, man, I ain't telling you to turn into some heartless bastard. That's not what this is about. You can be a good man. You can have loyalty, have honor, have a code, but don't you ever let those things be a leash around your neck. Don't you ever let your kindness be a weakness. Because the second they see that opening, the second they think you're soft, they'll take their shot. And when they do, when they finally show you who they really are, don't be surprised. Don't act like you didn't see it coming. See, that's the biggest mistake people make. They ignore the signs, they make excuses. Oh, maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they'll change. Maybe I should just let it go. Nah, no more of that. When people show you who they are, believe them. When they show you what they think of you, when they tell you with their actions that you don't matter, take the message. And then make damn sure they never get the chance to do it again. You got one life, man. One shot at this thing. And every day, every single second, you're making a choice. You're either moving forward, making something real, something lasting, or you're wasting time letting people walk all over you, waiting for something that's never gonna come. So what's it gonna be? You're gonna keep waiting, keep hoping, keep letting the world tell you who you are, what you're worth, or you're gonna step up, take control, and make them remember your name? Because let me tell you something, nobody's gonna hand it to you. Nobody's gonna wake up one day and decide to give you what you deserve. You gotta take it. You gotta make them see. And yeah, they ain't gonna like it. They're gonna fight it, push back, call you crazy, tell you you're wrong. But guess what? They don't get a say. Not anymore. You think Tony Montana sat around waiting for permission? You think he asked anybody if it was okay to be who he was? Nah. He walked in, he took his shot, and he made damn sure the world never forgot his name. Now it's your turn. You think people respect you just because you're nice, because you play by the rules, because you wait your turn? No, man. People don't respect nice, they use it. They chew it up and spit it out. They take everything you give and then leave you empty, wondering what went wrong. You ever notice how the guys who get ahead in this world ain't the ones waiting for their shot? They take it. They don't ask, don't hesitate, don't sit around hoping for permission. And you're still waiting, still hoping, still thinking that if you just hold on a little longer, things are gonna turn around. But let me tell you something, man, things don't turn around. You do. You keep looking at people, expecting them to change, expecting them to see you, to finally treat you the way you deserve. But that's never gonna happen. Because people, they don't change. They just find better ways to fool you. They find better ways to hide their games, to cover their lies, to keep you on that leash just a little bit longer. And you've let it happen, haven't you? You've played along, you've bitten your tongue, you've smiled when you should have walked away. And for what? For them. For people who wouldn't lift a damn finger for you if the roles were reversed. Nah, man, that ain't how this works. Let me tell you something about power. It don't come from what you have. It don't come from money or fancy cars or big houses. Those things, they're just trophies, decorations. Power comes from knowing deep down that nobody owns you, that nobody controls you, that nobody can take what you don't give them. Right now, you're giving too much. You're giving them space in your head, in your heart, in your life. You're letting them take and take while you sit there, hoping they'll wake up one day and finally see what you're worth. But they won't. Because the second they see you as someone they can walk over, they don't unsee it. They don't suddenly grow a conscience. They don't wake up feeling bad. The only time they feel bad, the only time they regret it, is when you're gone. When you stop giving, when you stop answering, when they look around and realize the thing they thought would always be there ain't there no more, that's when it hits them. That's when the regret creeps in. But by then it's too late. You want to know the secret? You want to know the thing that separates the ones who rise from the ones who get left behind? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not who's got the most connection. It's knowing when to walk away. It's knowing when to stop giving, when to cut people off, when to stop making excuses, when to stop playing the damn fool. You think being a good man means letting people use you? You think it means being the bigger person, turning the other cheek, taking the hits and smiling through it? Nah, man. Being a good man means knowing your worth. It means knowing when enough is enough. It means protecting yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you. And you're still worried about what they think, about keeping the peace, about making sure nobody gets upset. Let me tell you something, peace is an illusion. It's something they sell to keep you quiet, to keep you compliant, to keep you waiting for something that's never coming. The real world is a jungle. And in the jungle, you either eat or you get eaten. So tell me, which one are you? Are you the one they step on, the one they use, the one they keep around just long enough to take what they need before throwing you aside? Or are you the one who makes the rules? The one who don't need their approval, their validation, their empty words? Because the second you decidedly decide that you don't need them, that you don't care what they think, that you're in waiting, that's the second you become dangerous. That's the second they start to notice. That's the second they start to fear. And fear is respect. Maybe they won't love you, maybe they won't even like you, but they'll know. They'll know you ain't the one to mess with. They know that you ain't the guy they can just use and throw away. They know that if they cross you, there's a price to pay. And that's real power. You ever notice how people love to talk big, love to act like they got it all figured out? They walk around heads high, chest puffed out like they own the place. But let me tell you something, most of them, they're scared. They're weak. They're pretending. You ever seen what happens when you push them just a little? When you stop nodding along, stop letting them talk down to you, stop playing their little game? They crack, they stumble, they panic. Because the truth is, most people ain't as strong as they pretend to be. Most people are just playing a part, hoping nobody calls them out on it. And you've been standing there, letting them tell you who you are, letting them set the rules, letting them act like they're above you. But let me ask you something, boy. Why do you care what they think? Why do you let their words, their opinions, their little judgments have any say over who you are? What makes them so special? What makes them better than you? Nothing. The only difference between them and you is that they figured out the game first. They realized early that confidence real or forgets respect. That most people don't question the ones who act like they know what they're doing. And you've been questioning yourself too damn much. That stops now. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need some idiot in a suit or some loudmouth in a room full of sheep to tell you what you're worth. You tell them. You decide. You ever notice how people react when you stop playing along? When you stop just agreeing, stop explaining yourself, stop trying to prove your worth? They don't know what to do. Because most of them, they survive on control. They survive on knowing they can pull your strings, push your buttons, get under your skin, take that away from them, and they lose their power. You ever see a guy get desperate? A guy who thought he had you figured out, thought he had you on a leash? It's funny, man. The second you stop caring, stop reacting, stop needing anything from them, they start falling apart. They start making mistakes. They start showing their real faces. That's when you see it. That's when you realize you never needed them in the first place. That's when you realize they were the weak ones all along. See, people like to act tough, like to act like they're in control. But you take away their audience, take away the people they think they control, and what do they have? Nothing. Because control, it's a crutch. It's something weak. People need to feel strong. But you don't need that. Real strength, it ain't about control. It ain't about forcing people to bow to you. It's about knowing without a doubt that you can stand on your own. That no matter what happens, no matter who walks away, no matter who tries to tear you down, you're still standing. And let me tell you something, Man, most people can't handle that kind of strength. Most people need the noise, they need the distractions, they need people around them telling them they're important, that they matter, that they're in charge. Take that away, they crumble. You ever notice how quiet it gets when you stop explaining yourself? When you stop chasing people? When you stop needing to be understood? Silence is power. Most people can't stand it. Because in silence, that's when the truth comes out. That's when they start hearing their own thoughts, their own doubts, their own failures. That's when they start realizing they ain't as untouchable as they pretend to be. And that's why they need you to react. That's why they need you to care. Because the second you stop, the second you take that away from them, they're left with nothing but themselves. And you're free. That's the part they don't want you to figure out. That's the part they don't want you to see. That they never had power over you. You just let them think they did. That all this time you weren't the one who needed them. They needed you. But you don't need them. Not anymore. Do you ever see a lion worried about the opinions of sheep? You ever see a king begging to be accepted? Nah. They don't ask for respect. They don't need it. They are what they are. And people recognize that. That's what you need to understand. You don't get respect by chasing it. You don't get it by proving yourself to people who don't matter. You get it by knowing deep in your bones that you don't need a damn thing from anybody. You walk into a room like you own it, and guess what? People start believing it. You stop explaining yourself, stop justifying yourself, stop waiting for someone to tell you you're good enough, and suddenly you are. Not because they said so. Because you said so. That's the difference. That's the game. And once you see it, once you really get it, you never go back. Because once you stop needing people, once you stop letting them pull your strings, once you stop caring whether they like you, accept you, understand you, that's when you become untouchable. That's when you become dangerous. That's when they start fearing you. Because a man who don't need anything, that's a man who can't be controlled. You ever notice how people panic when they lose control? When they realize they can't move you, can't shake you, can't make you dance to their tune anymore. That's when the fear sets in. That's when they start scrambling, start throwing every trick they got, hoping something still works. They'll try guilt first. After everything I did for you, you've changed. You're being selfish. They'll make it seem like you're the problem. Like you're the one who turned your back. Like you owe them something. But you don't. You don't owe anybody a damn thing. They chose how they treated you. They chose what they did, what they said, how they played their little games. And now they want to act like none of it happened. Now, see, people like that, they don't regret hurting you. They regret losing access to you. They regret losing their grip, losing their power. They miss the version of you that was easy to manipulate, easy to control. They don't miss you, they miss what they could take from you. And when guilt don't work, when you don't fall for the fake apologies, the sad little speeches, that's when they switch it up. That's when they try to make you doubt yourself. You're being paranoid. You're taking things too seriously. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Nah, man. You're not making a big deal. You're seeing things for what they are. And that scares the hell out of them. Because the second you wake up, the second you stop playing dumb, stop ignoring the signs, stop giving them the benefit of the doubt, that's when their whole world crumbles. That's when they realize they lost something real. And that's when the anger kicks in. See, they're not mad at what you did, they're mad because you stopped letting them win. They're mad because they thought they had you, thought they could keep you in check, thought they could keep the grip tight around your neck. And now you're free. Nothing scares people like that more than a man they can't control. And you, that's exactly what you are now. You ever notice how people who thought they were better than you start acting different when they realize you don't need them, when they realize you're doing just fine without them? that's when the resentment kicks in. Because deep down, they know. They know they could have treated you better. They know they could have been loyal, could have been real, could have had someone who actually gave a damn about them. But they didn't. They chose to use you, chose to lie to you, chose to act like you were just another pawn in their little game. And now they gotta live with the fact that you walked away. That they didn't break you. That you're still standing, still moving, still building, still winning. And it eats them alive. But that's not your problem. That's not your weight to carry anymore. See, that's what they don't understand. That's what they'll never get. You're not angry. You're not bitter. You're just done. And there ain't a damn thing they can do about it. You ever see how quiet the world gets when you stop chasing people? When you stop explaining yourself? When you stop trying to be understood? At first, it feels strange. It feels like something's missing. Like maybe, just maybe, you made the wrong call. But give it time, because then you start to see it. You start to feel it. The weight that's been lifted. The power that comes with knowing you don't need anybody. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their fake love, their fake loyalty, their fake promises. And suddenly you're free. You ever see a man who's truly free? It's rare, because most people, they're too scared. Too scared to stand on their own, too scared to walk away, too scared to bet on themselves. But not you, not anymore. Because now you know the truth. Now you see the game for what it is. And now you make your own rules.